Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. Let's get.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the thumbnail and the title, this is the YouTube prison yard and the truth about Wes Watson. So, as most of you know, there's tons of prison channels out there on YouTube. And I guess my channel falls under that banner as well of prison genre. Um, but so some of the channels that I follow and I've been following for a while on YouTube are Renegade Media, Paradigm Media News, ACP or A Convict's Perspective, Prison POV, Dubs, Gunner or Collective Clips, I think it is now, 16 to Life, and everybody's favorite villain, Wes Watson. So the thing is, I support a lot of these channels. I consume their content, and I've learned a lot from many of these channels. Um, I'll say this, when I was just getting started, Chill from 16 to Life did an interview for me, and, that helped the channel to get a little bit of exposure. Shout out to you, Chill. And I asked a question on Renegade Media, and Jay was gracious enough to do a tutorial type video on how to edit and stuff. So shout out to you as well, Jay. Now, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, and share the video. Also, hit that notification bell so that anytime I drop a new video or I go live, you will be notified. Now, one thing about the prison genre on YouTube is it tends to be a toxic environment, much like prison. A lot of these guys did a lot of time in the joint, and you can see that. Anytime you did decades behind bars, you're not going to get out and in a few years be a so-called normal member of society. Certain traits are going to show through, and that's just what it is. It seems like a lot of people like to pile on Wes Watson, and the thing is, Wes Watson, he found a void in the prison genre, and he sewed it up basically for a while there. Don't seem like he's doing a whole lot with the YouTube anymore. It seems like he's moved on to bigger and better things, and hey, shout out to him for that. But within the prison genre, it seems like everybody's trying to, they do reactions and stuff to his videos and try to contradict everything that he says. And I'm not saying that, everything. I'm sure there's some extra hot sauce on the tacos there. You know what I mean? But, he gained vast popularity through his videos. And to be honest with you, when I was initially trying to lose weight, he was good motivation for me. Like the way he talks about people and the way he says he talks to some people, I don't know about that, but it seems like a lot of YouTube channels are like checking paperwork virtually. I guess that's how we do it in the YouTube genre. But, people have gone as far as to check all his housing locations and where he's been. And, to be perfectly honest with you, anytime Wes Watson's name is in a video, it's going to do well because people want to hear about that. And, for some people, doing YouTube is their full time occupation. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I did a previous video on the prison genre. And like I said, the thing is, I would much rather someone be sitting behind a camera that spent decades in prison than, trying to break into my house or something, So, if it works for them, then that's great, And shout out to, all the channels that I mentioned. Now, some of these guys were uh, either part of these big four organizations or, you know, uh, not too far off from being part. And the thing is, it's not my place to say what that is. Some of these channels, they talk about these organizations, and, that's their prerogative to do so. I don't choose to do that because, some things are better not to talk about. Now, you know, a lot of these guys, like, they have stories for days, it seems like. And you know what? If you spent a quarter century in the pen, I would imagine you would. I didn't do much time in the pen itself. So, my stories are limited on that. But, my channel is more about sobriety and, lowering the recidivism rate. You know, I spent a lot of time, a lot of my life, I should say, hurting people through the sales of illegal narcotics and the stuff that goes with that. And now I'm doing my best to help others. So, uh, you know, uh, like I said, some of these channels and these content creators, it seems like they do their best to expose the other channels or smut others up. And, the thing is, like, that's a prison tactic. If someone else is doing better than you, then, I'm just going to throw some smut on that guy, and hopefully he'll get removed or something to that extent, So to each their own, though. And, you know, like I said, I watch all these channels, but some things that I've seen is it seems as though some of these channels may have some issues with substance or alcohol abuse, and it's shown on their lives. Or, there was a clip I seen, and, the thing is, I'm not here to smut anybody up. That's the last thing I want to do. I'm in my lane, and that's where I intend to stay. I'm not looking for any so-called YouTube beefs or whatever. That's not my thing. But I have seen some lives where there was a clip that I seen where somebody was under the influence of alcohol and talking shit to someone else that was on the live and threatening to go to their house and hurt their family and stuff. Like, come on, guys, we got to do better than that. The outside world is looking at this genre and, what we're supposed to be doing, which is trying to assist others to not make the mistakes that we did. But, that's not a good look. So, and, as far as smutting each other up, we all seen what happened to Savage Studios. Rest in peace to Savage. But, when I remember when I first started watching his channel and he said that he was a dropout, like, my jaw must have hit the floor. But, I've gained some education through watching some of these channels and realized that there's a lot of propaganda in prison about, those SNY guys are soft and this and that. Like, if you were a killer on the main line, trust me, you're still a killer when you're in SNY. So, but, the main thing is this. For me, it's about sobriety and, encouraging others not to go to prison. I always felt like I was predestined to end up there, and I wasn't, but I allowed myself to be. I remember there was a song that I heard the other day. It's called "Love's Gonna Get You" by, I think it's Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One, and the whole message of that song is that if you get in the game, or you strive too hard to get something in particular, it's going to catch up with you in the end. But all I heard at that time was, the drug dealing was glamorous, and so you're going to hear the message that you want to hear, I guess. But as far as Wes goes, I had a conversation with someone last week, and uh, Dubs was doing a reaction to a Wes Watson video, and Wes was dropping names as usual. And I had a conversation with somebody based on the information I heard in that video, and I talked to him and asked him, what Wes was like, and he said he's the guy that you see in the videos. That's him. That's how he was. Uh, he was in prison in Arizona with him, level 3, and he said Wes was doing his thing. So, me, guys, like, I'm not gonna put any information out about where I heard that from or anything, but it was a very reliable source. I'll just say that. So, uh, for the channels that I mentioned earlier in this video, if you want to react to this, by all means do so. I welcome it with open arms. Like I said, the thing is, I'm trying to do good here with this channel, and I want to see a lot of these other channels continue to prosper. I was always taught growing up, when I was being put up on game in life, basically in the neighborhood and stuff, that if you want to learn how to do something well, you look at an individual that's doing that particular thing well. If you want to slang drugs, you look at the guy that's balling, right? You don't look at the guy that's smoking up all his stuff. You look at people that are successful, and all the channels that I mentioned earlier are doing their thing. So shout out to all of you guys. I don't mean any disrespect by this video, and like I said, if anybody wants to do a reaction to it, I welcome it. So that is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down. Either way, though, drop a comment and let me know what you think. Also, share the video. It's helping us to grow. We are quickly coming up on 1,200 subs, and I owe all of that to you guys. So thank you very much for those of you that support the channel. Don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.